Alright, so we're talking about the Island Boys, and I haven't talked about them in a few months because they're boring now. The Island Boys wormhole was pretty entertaining these last couple years, but at this point, it's on life support. I've just lost all interest in them. You never know, they might go viral again. Their last viral moment was when they came out as bisexual, and when that happened, there was a week-long period where influencers were talking about them again. But to top that, I feel like one of them needs to get a sex change or get shot. Some of you people watching this might think that these guys are losers, but there's so many people with face tattoos who aren't even famous. Take Vium, Lil Mar, Lil Pyru, they're all losers. At least the Island Boys had their moment, and I haven't talked about them because I don't see them going viral again. Right now they're just sidekicks for Jack Doherty. Desperate YouTubers like myself were just beating this dead horse, hoping we can get 86 views. I saw this video called The Continuous Downfall of the Island Boys. If it worked for famous criminals, it'll work for this guy, but he only got 36,000 views in 6 days. I'm thinking that this is a small YouTuber trying to come up, but he's got over 1 million subscribers, and out of those 1 million people, only 36,000 people decide to check out this video. That's a dud. Only 3% of your subscribers check this out. And there's been so many videos about how the Island Boys fell off. It's like a cliche at this point, dating back to 1.5 years ago when I made the first one. But who's gonna make the last one? No disrespect to this guy, but all of these videos are exactly the same. It goes like this. The Island Boys made a popular freestyle on TikTok. They weren't really taken seriously as actual rappers, and they ended up getting in trouble. Now they're not as popular as they used to be. How embarrassing. And a lot of idiots give me shit for covering people like Lil Mar or Vium, and I get asked why I don't talk about actual famous people. It's better to be the first person to talk about something than the last person. Like, this guy probably spent all day making this video, and he's probably only gonna make 60 bucks. It's definitely not gonna be as successful as the video I made 1.5 years ago. I mean, why remake content when you can be original? I'm honestly not sure if these guys are gonna go viral again. They kissed each other, that sort of brought them back for a month, but what can they possibly do now? They can only fight Jack Doherty so many times before it gets old. They just come off as assholes, like really unlikable. And Vium is getting boring too now that he's been arrested. After a few months, he was able to bond out of jail for like 10 grand.
Care about you like me. I don't want you saying that in front of 800 people that you want to kill yourself. Like, no one wants to hear that. Like, I think we should get you into some therapy.
She don't care. She be stripping now. She don't give a fuck if I go do time and lose my life. I just think it's unfair, bro. Blueface just got 24 months suspended sentence for shooting at somebody. I made a phone call. Why they trying to tell me 16 months? I'm not.
Under the condition that he wears an ankle bracelet so the police can see where he's at all times. Usually he hangs out at playgrounds and food banks. Not to mention, he's got 2 more cases that he's got to face. One for selling drugs and the other for sexting minors. And he's super angry that I make videos calling him out on being a pedophile. And that's understandable. I don't think pedophiles are proud of who they are. 90% of the time, they're gonna say that they're innocent and that it's a conspiracy against them. But really, it's up to the court to decide whether he's guilty or not. He was messaging me earlier just on the same bullshit, saying he'd whoop me, but this fool is hella out of shape. When he was sparring with Lindo, he gassed out after 30 seconds, just like when he has sex. No one is scared of Vium. He can't even do 4 push-ups. He said he wanted to do an interview with me, but let me explain why that wouldn't be entertaining. Because every time I confront him about the kids he messages, he just denies it. For example, I'll be like, remember when you exposed yourself to a middle schooler? And Vium will respond with, your mom is a bitch. It's like talking to a pedophilic brick wall. This guy has some serious integrity issues. He'll say that he signed to Sony, he's sponsored by Gucci, and that he makes 10 grand a day. Meanwhile, in real life, he's selling promo for $15, living with his parents. His ex-girlfriend claimed that he wanted to have a threesome with the 16-year-old, and of course he's denying it.
My life, I wish that, like, you could just be loyal. Like, my ex used to let me that, and I drained myself doing that. I lost myself doing that. And to think that you were gonna change whenever you got out of jail is fucking ridiculous of me. I cannot believe that I fucking sat there and thought it would have been so different if you have told me that you were in this girl's DMs. Why do I always have to find everything out on my own? Every single time this man has cheated on me, it's me finding out on my own.
And by the way, the woman he dated is 18 years old. She used to say that she was 19, so she lied about her age. And I'm thinking he's been speaking to her since she was under 18. Now she's making videos about how Vium took advantage of her. And when you're 18, you're a legal adult. You can date whoever you want. But my advice is, if someone 10 years older than you wants to date, you should ask them why they don't want to date someone closer to their age. Vium is definitely attracted to children. The one girl he publicly dates is barely legal, and it's sad because she knows his history. Kodiak Red actually brought up that Vium hit up underage girls, and Allison ignored it. She either refuses to believe he's a pedophile, or she just doesn't care. This girl has something called borderline personality disorder. You have to have some kind of disorder to like Vium, but people with this disorder are super desperate for love and attention. They end up rushing into relationships. After a week, they want to get married, and unfortunately, people with BPD end up attracting narcissists or sociopaths. A girl tells you she loves you after a day, you gotta be a little self-centered to roll with it. Allison insulted me. She told me I was built like Vium, and that really hurt my feelings cause he's got gynecomastia, Down syndrome, testicular atrophy. I'm not perfect, but I'm about 18 steps above this fuckhead. At one point, Vium said he's 5'10" and 180 pounds, and I got nothing against short people, but I don't think he's that tall. Jack Doherty is confirmed 5'5", and he's the same height as the Island Boys. And Vium is around the same height as them. He might be an inch taller, but he definitely doesn't dwarf them. So it's safe to assume that he's exaggerating his height, just like he exaggerates everything. Dude is a compulsive liar. He might actually be 180 pounds though, but that's body fat. These people are stupid. I'm out.